So Micky, this is it. Again,
This is it. This is it.
What's the emotion like?
We're enjoying the build-up. We're certainly enjoying the weather. We're excited, but contained.
Yeah.
Making sure that we try and hit the levels that we know are necessary for us being ready for Saturday.
Yeah.
So you're trying to gauge that, make sure you get that right, because we've got the game now, same as Newport, for nearly 2 weeks now. So we're just trying to make sure we hit the levels as well, and getting the boys as prepared as we possibly can.
So did you imagine when you started out after the start of the season, you'd be in the same season at this time?
For the what, sorry?
You'd be here you'd be going back to win this year.
I don't think we set any targets. I think we've always said that because we didn't have anything really to measure it on, because we had so many players, with all due respect, that hadn't played in an awful lot in the Football League, so we couldn't say, oh, well, he's done well in the Football League, we should do well again, because we had no evidence of it. But it's definitely knew we had good players. I definitely knew that we had a mentality about us and a team spirit about us that would make us very competitive. But what I didn't want to do was ever race ahead of myself and start making mad, ridiculous statements. But I knew I had good players. And then as the season went on, we were prepared to think, right, when we got to sort of Christmas time, could we add anything to it to try and bolster it up? So we always thought about that. And then we knew sort of in maybe February, March time, a picture would emerge of probably what prize we hopefully were going to be fighting for, or not. I never really thought either way. So as the season unfolded, that's what happened, and then we're very, very grateful now that we've been able to put in performances that have been good enough to get us into a playoff final to contest the last remaining place of the division.
Do you think you can call upon your recent experiences at Wembley over the last 2 years, obviously going into this final the third time round?
Yeah, I think we have learned an awful lot. I've said before, I think the first time we went to Wembley, certainly myself, with Tranmere, underestimated the impact it would have on a group that hadn't been there before. So we've learned an awful lot about that, I think. Certainly the second year we went. And in the third year now, I'm not going to say that it's our home ground, but we're certainly more familiar with it now. So there's less for us to concentrate on in terms of the environment, and that gives you more time to concentrate, which is important, is the game, because that's all we can affect. If there's anything from the environment that gets any more out of you, then grab that, brilliant. But no, we'll go down there and be able to concentrate more on what's important for us as a team, and that's the performance of the group, and making sure we get that right, and then hopefully we do that. That'll be enough to get us a result.
You mentioned being used to that environment. Do you think the fact that Newport haven't been to as many finals as you in the last few years can play into your hands at all?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Every day reacts differently, so I don't know their group well enough, to be honest with you, to be able to say that, and I'm not going to get involved in any silly, unnecessary stuff. It'll be a really tough, contested game. It has been every time we've played Newport. They've done fantastic as well to get to this stage. For the two of us to contest in the last place, so it's great credit to both clubs. So we know it's going to be tough. We know that we've got to play well, and Newport will know that they'll have to as well, in order to try and, like I say, gain the prize, if you like. So no, we know that we're going to go there and we're going to have to play very well.
And there's going to be an army of thousands of fans following you down there. Obviously, they've been a big part of the year. What's your final thoughts on the fans?
It's terrific that you're able. I think us managers have got to remember, and players and all the rest of it, that you have a responsibility to try and get your fan base or your football club into situations like this, because this is their football club and these are the days that they crave and never forget. So to be able to give them one of their days to go to Wembley and see their club playing at Wembley is fantastic. Really is fantastic. I'm pleased that we can do that. But us as a staff and as players, we're going to go down there, obviously acknowledging that, but we need to try and seal the deal now. We're professionals and we'll go down there and try and win the game and try and add to that day for them. But it'll be brilliant to see them being able to go down there and, like you say, in their massive numbers to Wembley, because that's surely every fan's dream, is to see their club contesting massive matches at Wembley and making sure that you go down and you enjoy that, and they certainly will. And then we'll take care of our side of the business, and hopefully we'll play well enough to try and seal the deal.
I know you mentioned the togetherness of the team quite a lot this season. That's been a big part, obviously. What are the other qualities, though, do you think that have brought you to the final this season?
Oh, ability. It's first and foremost. You must have the mentality and the desire and all the words to help in order to try and perform. But certainly we've got good players, and they've been able to, over the course of 46 games and 2 playoff games, get us to this stage, which takes a lot of hard work on the training pitch and in games and all the rest of it. And you've got to have all the qualities in order to do that. So one last game to go now, you just have to make sure you try and get them as ready as possible in order to get there and give them a good chance of performing again, get them into the right place, and get there and try and make themselves League One players.
No, how is everybody, Micky?
We're fine, everybody's alright. Only the long-term ones that would never have had a chance anyway, so no, everybody's thankfully good to go.
So, obviously the performances this season have brought speculation linking some of your players with other clubs, James particularly. Is this something you've had to keep an eye on? Do you have to say anything to the players to prevent this becoming a distraction?
No, the only distraction I'll get is I'll leave them out if they don't perform. That'll be it. No, they have to keep performing. That's our job, is to try and help players, and I mean help, not make. You can't make a player perform, you have to help them perform by using their qualities in order to do that. So part of that is focus. So they'll always be told to have to focus on trying to perform for Tranmere and get us results. Everything else will come into line, like it does in life. It's the same in football, it'll come into line, and when decisions or things have to come our way, when the moments come along, then we'll do that. We're prepared to do that. But that hasn't happened yet, and it's all about now getting a group of players ready for a playoff final, and we'll deal with that. And then as we go along, just like in life, we'll make the decisions.
And so in terms of a showcase for the club, obviously Liverpool had a great season in the Premier League, bit of a lull now before the Champions League final. So it's like
I wouldn't mind having a lull at Liverpool before a Champions League final.
Well, this weekend,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Is it?
No, it's on Merseyside. It's our turn this weekend for the spotlight to shine on us. So we're delighted about that, because that's what you want from your football club, isn't it? And we'll enjoy that. We'll make sure that we enjoy that. But like I say, we'll be professional. We'll get the best way prepared as possible. And if there's anything we can get out of that, if that increases your focus because you know that the spotlight is on you, then brilliant. We'll use that. But we'll make sure that we don't get too carried away, and we've got a game to play.
Now, we saw you obviously 2 years ago when you went down to 10 men. You fought back from that, and then obviously on Monday night against Forest Green you came back from behind again. Is that a quality that gives you confidence going into the final? Yeah,
I don't know if it was about coming back so much as not getting too affected by things that happen in football games, but especially in playoff games. There's so much emotion involved in playoff games. We spoke about before that you've seen. You only have to look at it last week. I think the playoffs this year have been spectacular, haven't they? I mean, football generally has had a real shot in the arm with the last week or two. But you can't let positive or negative things, believe it or not, in playoff games affect you too much, because there is a place that a footballer has to be in order to perform his best. So we spoke about that. So to get back to your question, with Forest Green scoring, we spoke about it, we never let it affect us. We just carried on with the things that we knew had got us to that stage, at the tempo that we knew that the game had to be played at, concentrating on the jobs that you knew that you had for the team, and we just did that really. And we felt that if that was going to be enough, then we would rely on that rather than thinking that we had to do anything any different, because that's the danger. You think that you do anything any different. If there was something else that we believe that we should have done, why weren't we doing that in the first place? But we'd had a way of playing that we had designed over 46 games, and that was the second playoff game that had got us into that situation, so we just concentrated in doing that.
If you are to win on Saturday, where would that rank in your career, achieving back-to-back promotions?
You know my answer to that. I'm not even thinking about that, honestly. I've been in this game long enough to know that there's a performance that has to be done, and then the result will take care of itself. And really that is what football is all about. If you get too ahead of yourself and you start looking for the finishing line before the gun has even gone off, then you're going to get yourself some problems. We'll try and take care of the game and the performance the best way we can. Like I said, and not let things affect us positively or negatively. Just try and hit the levels that we know that we have had over the season in order to get us to where we're at. And then again, football being as random as it is, you just hope that that's enough to get your result, and then we'll deal with that accordingly when it comes. But the important thing is we concentrate on the performance.
Just a couple of things.
Yep.
I spoke to the chairman yesterday, and he was talking about the sense of people working within the club who all get Tranmere Rovers, and he gave me a long list of people who've played for the club who are now working within the setup. Could you talk about the importance of that and how that's helping the club at the minute?
I think in that, and as well as we have so many volunteers, we have guys here that don't get paid, and they just come along because they enjoy the environment and they love the football club. I could reel you off a list of them that come in every day and work long hours but don't get paid. It's a football club that the local community really supports. Everybody talks about Merseyside area, and this football club has an identity in its own, and that kind of gets through to everybody, whoever represents the club, anybody that works for the club or has played for the club will tell you that that's one of the things that you find when you first came here, is the love that the fans have for the football club, and you must represent that. So that obviously gets to a lot of people, and that's what makes it probably such a great pleasure to play for, because you get then involved in the emotion of winning games of football for a club that's loved so much by the local community. So that's a massive reason why I think a lot of us are here and enjoy it so much.
For you as a manager, working with the chairman, I guess two people who have a genuine feeling for the club, how does that help to create the momentum that you've built up?
I think because we all want the same thing.
Yeah.
I think we're all very clear in what that is, and that's to win games of football for Tranmere, to perform and make sure that you're representing the local community and the Tranmere fans properly. So I think that that's what we all know. We all know what comes first. We all know that Tranmere is really why we're all doing this. So there's nobody bigger than Tranmere. I think we all know that. So any decisions we're going to make or anything that we do will that affect Tranmere? And that very quickly makes up our mind and what we do, and that's from the top all the way right through the whole football club. And the chairman really forces that through, because he's done terrific, isn't he? Him and Nicola have done fantastic to take the reins on, and they keep driving it all the time.
Yeah,
You said a couple of minutes ago that at the start of this season you didn't know quite what to expect because so many players hadn't been in the league before. You're now looking at Division 1. Would that be too big a jump, do you think, or are you ready for that?
I think you've just answered there, looking. We're looking. Honestly, like I said, I don't really, even the same in life, I don't try and rush too far ahead. I'm going to enjoy today. Trust me, I'm not standing in the technical area at Wembley. I'm going to enjoy today. It's sunny and all the rest of it. The same in football. When the decisions come along and have to be made, and hopefully they do, every decision will be about Tranmere. Will be about is that the right thing to do for the football club? But that's when the decisions have to come. And at the minute, we've got a preparation to finish for a massive game. And then, as I say, when decisions come our way, we won't be shy in making them the best way we can for the football club.
Yeah. Okay, how good is it to have Mike Dinny on your side? A lot of clubs might think...
There's no ref in it. Unfortunately, there's no ref in it. I think from the outside, because football being like it is, you know, what it's like at times, there's a ref in it. We all like to speak about referees and say, oh, referees are this or that. We don't see really Mike as a ref because he doesn't ref us. He comes in here once or twice a week and has breakfast with us. He has a season ticket, and so does his daughter, and they follow us up and down the country. And instead of looking at all the negativity that sometimes that you see in things like what happened at the end of the Forest Green game, I'm not talking about anybody else, and I'm not asking anybody else to be like me. I looked at it and I thought, wow, isn't that good? Isn't that good that a game of football can do that to somebody? And I knew that he meant it, because I know how long he's supported Tranmere. I know that where he goes to Tranmere, he's been in terraces for Tranmere with only 10 people there, and he's been one of them, and then he's reffed a Premier League game the next day. So I know what it means to him, and what you've seen there I thought was fantastic. It was just, I don't like mood liars. I like people to show their emotion. I don't want them to tell lies about their emotion and try and hide it. I like it when people say, I'm upset, or I'm genuinely delighted, and when I seen him doing that, he is genuinely delighted. He doesn't care if that was live on Sky, and a huge part of maybe of the football and world that was watching that was going to have an opinion on that. He didn't care. That's how he felt, and that's what he was going to do, and he showed that, and I thought it was brilliant. And I thought if football can do that to people, then that's why we love it so much.
I was in Spain last week, and it was the first feature on a football news programme.
Right, there you go. There's the power of football, and we underestimate it. But I love football for what it does. I take part in it, and it's my job. But when you see the power of what it can do positively, in helping people, we have all sorts of people here, like young apprentices, that we learn manners through football. Timekeeping, team spirit, togetherness, desire, relentlessness, having the ability after disappointment to go again, all learned through football. That we know that when they leave here or they go on further in their lives, they're going to learn that through football. And I'm sure that their parents appreciate that. We do that with the first team even. We encourage them to be respectful and all the rest of it through football, and that's the power of football. And we don't speak about that enough, how football can make you a better person. So we go into the communities and we do that. And like you see with emotion of Mike Dean, it's gone all over Spain and all the rest of it. And why not enjoy seeing somebody getting excited about a game of football? Because if it doesn't do that to you, and you're not enjoying it like that, why are you doing it? And every credit to him for that, and let's hope that he's doing it again on Saturday night.